Wonderful. So we are looking at occupational health. Mike Banda here, and we're going to be looking at occupational health lecture by lecture. The very first aspect that we're going to look at is okay. So for those who might wonder what this is about, this is occupational health EHS coded EHS 4220. Of course, great acknowledgement goes to Dr. Chisala Meki Lubumbashi for the compilation of the notes. However, we're going to do it differently. Here, as we are going to be going through, we will be looking at what are some of the ways in which questions might be asked from this particular lecture. All right. So, occupational health deals with the prevention of occupational diseases as well as occupational injuries and accidents. That caters different measures that you put in place to ensuring that the workplace is safe for human activities. You want to, of course, occupational health also caters the aspect of ergonomics, where you fit the workplace to the worker and not the worker to the workplace. Okay. All right. So on our very first presentation of objectives or outline, we need to know some of the definitions that are important. Besides that, we're going to have to know the classifications of accidents. So you have to know how to classify accidents. When an accident happens, you have to know which category does this accident belong. Not all accidents are the same, but all accidents are bad, and we're going to look at that in just a moment. Causes of accidents, want to know what causes accidents. Would also want to know how to prevent those accidents. So you're going to define some of the terms that are related to accidents and occupational health. From there, you're going to have to know how to classify the different types of accidents, and not only knowing how to classify them, but what causes those accidents. And then we're going to have to know how to go about preventing those accidents. So we'll look at the strategies that are involved, then we'll look at the safe place strategy and the safe person strategy. These are the two types of strategies that are going to be looked at. Of course, already here you're able to see one question. The question can be classify or discuss the two different types of strategies used in accident prevention. You're going to have to know that is safe place strategy and safe person strategy. So let's go into it. Okay. For the introduction, we are going to look at some of the good things here that are there, and because this deals with accidents, so let's look at let's have an highlighter that is in red, right? Yeah. All right. So a worker dies from a work-related accident or disease every after 15 seconds. These are some of the things that we have to know, and questions can come from here. So the first question is, a worker dies from a work-related accident or disease every dash. Okay, so this can be the answer, every after 15 seconds. Imagine every after 15 seconds a worker dies. Every 15 seconds one dies. That's incredible. About 153 workers have a work-related accident every 15 seconds. Not only so, within 15 seconds, about 153 workers have a work-related what? Accident. And how many people die in every 15 seconds? One worker dies. A worker dies. Okay. So these are the answers. So here you can be asked, dash dies from a work-related accident or disease every dash. You know that's one worker per 15 seconds, and then within that same 15 seconds, how many workers have work-related accidents? 153. And among the 153, Okay, one dies. So in short, we are saying in 15 seconds, okay, in 15 seconds, we are saying that in 15 seconds, how many people get involved in accidents? 153. Okay, 153. Okay, 150. And amongst these 153, how many die? 1% dies. Okay, so you can imagine, that's crazy. All right, we are learning every day 6,300 people die as a result of occupational accidents or work-related diseases, with more than 2.3 million deaths per year. What is of interest to us here is this: people, okay? 6,300 people die every day, okay? As a result of what? Occupational accidents or work-related diseases. So in 15 seconds, 153 workers have work-related accidents, and amongst these who have work-related accidents, how many die out of 153 people? In every 15 seconds, one worker. And in a day, how many die altogether? 6,300 people. Okay. And okay, so 6,300 people die as a result of occupational accidents or work-related diseases, with more than 2.3 million deaths per year. Okay, so we have some some things here to take note of. We are saying that per every 15 seconds, for every 15 seconds, how many workers get injured or get involved in accidents? It is 153. Amongst these 153, okay, amongst these 153, how many people die? One person dies. Okay, one dies. One dies out of 153. And this is just in 15 seconds, meaning how many are going to die in one day? Okay, one day, how many are going to die in one day? We've said it is 6,300. So these are the notes to take here. 6,300 die. Okay, and then the other thing of interest is that every day 6,300 people die as a result of occupational accidents or work-related diseases, with more than 2.3 million deaths per year. Meaning per every 15 seconds, how many die? How many get injured? 153. Out of 153, one dies. Meaning in a day, you're going to have how many people dying? 6,300 people. Meaning if in a day 6,300 people die, how many people die in a year? We are saying 2.3 million. Okay, so these are things that are of interest. Meaning here we have something interesting. About 317 million accidents occur on the job. Okay, occur on the job annually. Okay, that's annually per year. 317 million accidents occur annually. Okay. So, and then for comparison purposes, we've said in 15 seconds, 153 accidents occur. Okay, 153 accidents occur. Whereas per year, how many accidents occur per year? 317 million. 317 million. Okay, 317 million. Then we said out of these 153 who get injured in 15 seconds, only 1% dies. And then out of these 317 million in a year, how many die? 2.3 million. So okay, so that's how we get our data there. Yeah, we continue to looking at things of interest that might come in the test. The economic burden of poor health, occupational health, and health practice is estimated at 4% of global domestic product each year. So GDP, gross domestic product, this one here, you know that this is the amount of goods, the work output that gets produced domestically or within a nation, and we are saying that 4% of that GDP gets lost. So let's say there is a GDP of, for example, 2.3 billion. You multiply that 2.3 billion by 4%, you're going to get somewhere, you know, the number that you're going to get. But that's about it. Okay, you can research somewhere there, but it's not necessary. You might wish to do that on your own time. Okay, yeah, that's how that can, I think, work. But anyway, we're going to move on. So that's 4%. This is something to take note of. 4% of global domestic GDP, and this is not just GDP for a local country or a nation. It is global domestic product. 4% of the GDP gets lost each year. This is according to the International Labour Organization of 2016. According to the Zambia Labour Force Survey, okay, this you might need to take note. 2014 Zambia Labour Force Survey. Zambia Labour Force Survey 2014. Okay, what does that have to do with this? A minimum of that is a minimum of 62,128. 62,128. 62,128. Okay, 62,128. Yeah. Product man hours were lost between 2011 and 2014. This is how bad accidents are. Imagine between 2011 and 2014, that's only 3 years. In 3 years, how many hours, productive man hours were lost? 2,128. So this is something to take note of. Or maybe we put 62,128 labor hours were lost, according to the Zambia Labour Force Survey of 2014. Okay, make sure you take note of that number there, very important. Okay, so before we even go any further, let's remind ourselves, we're saying that according to the record, every 15 seconds, we've already established that every 15 seconds, how many people get injured? 153 people. Okay, 153 people get injured every 15 seconds, and out of these 153 that get injured, how many die? One person dies. So meaning every 15 seconds one person dies. And then we've also established that out of 317 million people who get injured yearly, okay, per year, 317 people get injured, and out of these 317 million, 2.3 million die. Okay, this is something that we've established. And then according to the Zambia Labour Force Survey of 2014, we've established that between 2011 and that's 3 years, 2014, 2014, how many man hours were lost? 62,128. How can you master this number? Just start with a 6 and a 2. 6 and 2. When you multiply this 6 times 2, it is going to give you what? 12. So you put your 12 there. And then when you add 6 plus 2, it will give you 8. So that's how you know and able to remember that number, it might come. Yeah. And then as we continue to go about our as we go on to talk about our study here, Zambia recorded 517 occupational accidents and deaths of 66, meaning in 2014